story of the time that makeup I did in 2019 ended up on Vogue Italia's website in 2021. In 2019, I was a senior in high school about to graduate and go to college. At this time, I had been doing makeup for about 2 years. As you can tell, I started doing makeup very, very young. I never went to beauty school and I learned everything I know at YouTube University. Shout out to Jaclyn Hill's makeup tutorials. Right before my high school graduation, one of my friends that was a model asked me if I could do her makeup for a photo shoot. She told me they were going for a very editorial look and that I could pretty much do whatever I wanted. I settled on doing this graphic orange look, which you'll see me doing in this video. I met my client Paige at her house, did her makeup, and sent her off on her way to her photo shoot. A couple of weeks later, she sent me pictures from the photo shoot, which you will also see at the end of this video. And me, not being a model, thought that's where the story would end. Flash forward to 2021, I'm working at my job and I get a text from Paige. We hadn't talked in a while, but her first text message said something like, "Do you remember when you did my makeup orange for that photo shoot a while back?" I responded saying, of course I remember doing her makeup. It was one of the most fun looks I ever did. And that's when she told me her side of the story. After I had done her makeup that day, she went to the photo shoot and the photographer low-key was kind of creepy. She said she didn't really hear back from him, and it was super difficult to get the photos from him from that day. He would contact her on Instagram asking to do other shoots, and she never really responded to him until he sent her a picture of her face on Vogue Italia's website. He had submitted the photos of that photo shoot in 2019 to Vogue Italia, and one of them was accepted. Paige sent me the photo, and when I opened it, I looked super closely at her face, and that's when I realized it was the makeup that I had done. Seeing a photo of makeup I did on my friend almost 2 years ago end up on Vogue Italia literally felt like I was in a dream. An accomplishment like this is something that I never even thought would be possible. Paige is such an amazing model and she is absolutely gorgeous, so I'm gonna tag her in the comments. And like I said before, pictures of the original makeup, her photo shoot, and the photo on the website is going to be at the end of this video. With all that being said, you probably noticed that my voice just changed in the middle of the video. And that's because I've had this makeup tutorial in my drafts for almost 2 months now. The reason that I've held off on posting this video is because even though I have a picture of it on the website, I haven't been able to find a link and I haven't been able to get into contact with the original photographer to see if he has a link. And it really makes me nervous to post this and not have a source for you guys. But then I thought if anyone was going to be able to find a link to this photo, it would be TikTok. I also just want to take a second to say thank you to each and every one of you who follow me, watch my videos, and support my makeup. Since I started doing makeup on TikTok, I've really been able to get back into my groove and focus on being creative and doing something fun and doing something for myself, and that is all because of you guys. I'm just gonna say it, Paige wore this look better, but oh my god, there's the picture, guys!
My aunt tried to poison my mom? Story time. So one thing to keep in mind is that my mom and my aunt do not get along. And a few years ago, my aunt was going through some financial troubles, so she had to come live with us for a little while. And since she was going through a little bit of troubles, her and my mom came up with this deal that my aunt would just help around the house, you know, like cook dinner, clean up, stuff like that. Well, about 2 weeks after she moved in, my mom started to become really sick. And we literally had no idea what was causing it. My mom was just having severe stomach pains. And it got so bad that my mom ended up passing out and we had to rush her to the emergency room. Well, they ended up running some tests and come to find out my mom had bleach in her system. So my dad gets angry and starts questioning my aunt, and my aunt confesses to putting bleach inside of my mom's food every time she cooked for her. It was so bad that if we waited any longer, my mom would have died.
Story time about the client who asked me to do her entire service for free. This client just so happens to be the first client that I've ever found on TikTok. Not long after I started making makeup artist story times, I had a few people reach out to me and ask if I would do their makeup. More specifically, if they could schedule an appointment to have their makeup done. We're gonna call this one in particular client Karen, and you'll see why in a second. Karen DM'd my Instagram account saying that she was a TikTok follower and that she had been trying to get a hold of me to schedule an appointment for her daughter. Her daughter was a senior in high school about to attend her senior prom. She told me that her daughter told her that she had been following me on TikTok since the beginning of my Makeup Artist Storytime series. She explained that she was a huge fan and that it would be great if there was any way that I would be able to do her daughter's senior prom makeup. I started by first asking her if she had a specific date or time in mind. Karen gave me all the details of her daughter's prom, and then I realized that she lives halfway across the country. That's when I told Karen that I was extremely appreciative for the opportunity, but there is no way that I would be able to fly halfway across the country. Karen was very understanding and thanked me for my time, but that's not where this story ends. A couple of weeks later, I hear back from Karen in my Instagram DMs. It said something along the lines of, "Hello, my daughter's senior prom is coming up and we would love for you to be able to do her makeup," followed by the exact same date, time, and location that she had given me just a couple weeks ago. I was a little confused at first because our first conversation was literally saved right above this one. I responded back and told her again that I would not be able to make the event. I apologized for any inconvenience and I thanked her for the opportunity yet again. But of course, Karen was not going to take no for an answer. Karen started DMing me repeatedly, basically rephrasing her initial question in multiple different ways, and then I finally decided just to give her what she was asking for. I told her that I would be able to make the event if she was able to pay for a round-trip airfare, at least one night of a hotel stay, and pay for my services. Surprisingly, Karen actually agreed to this plan. Karen gave me a budget of $5,000, saying that that should cover my round-trip ticket, a hotel stay, and all of my services and products. To be completely honest, I really didn't think that this plan was going to go through, but I decided to play along anyway because it would be great to be able to meet some of my followers. As the date for her daughter's prom grew closer, I decided to reach back out to Karen and make sure that everything was still okay. Previously, we had agreed on her paying me the $5,000 a couple of days before my departure. When I reached back out to Karen, she informed me that she thought $5,000 was just a little bit too much. I told her I would be willing to negotiate the price, but it would still have to cover the original terms of the agreement. Karen then told me that she would gladly give me her permission to use her daughter's face in a video if I would do the makeup and travel for free. I guess this is just a reminder that if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. And yet another timeless Karen story. Thank you so much to everyone who has supported me on TikTok, and don't be a Karen.
There was a finger in his trash can. Story time. So I used to house sit for this really rich guy, and we're gonna name him Daniel. Now, Daniel's house was huge. It was basically a mansion. And the cool thing about house sitting for Daniel is that he let me do whatever I wanted to do. He let me use his car, invite friends over, have a party, literally whatever I wanted to do, I could do it. But the only thing I was not allowed to do was go in his basement. And I really didn't think too much about it because he told me that's where his office was, so I figured he just didn't want anybody messing it up. Until the last time I house sat for him, I got a little bit nosy and I went down into the basement. Now the basement was huge. Literally my entire house could fit in his basement. And one thing caught my eye. There was a huge metal trash can in the corner of the basement. And it was kind of creepy. So unfortunately, I walk over to it, I open up the lid, and I look inside. And the first thing I see right on top is a human finger.